Right. You're right. I'm blessed,
On a
darling. Yeah.
fantastic and very cold Wednesday afternoon. How's everyone doing? It's the Teddy Bear, and welcome to a new year of Night Traxx Radio. Lord have mercy. And today's Artist Spotlight, three-time Grammy nominee, Emmy Award winner, and author, and also the ambassador. Yes, I did say ambassador for Fit for the Cure, the one and only, captivating, Lord have mercy, Taylor Dayne, and also her new hit single, of course, Thinking Out Loud, and also a remake. How dare they do that? But they did an incredible job. Tell It to My Heart featuring Cash Cash. Welcome to the show again, my queen. How are you doing?
Thank you, Teddy Bear. I am very happy and very pleased. And thank you so much for your generosity. That is something else. Amen.
No, it's well deserved. So let's get into it. As I was speaking to Taylor before he came on live, I said, everywhere I looked, you were either on TV, doing interviews, and I wanted to ask from your perspective, what is it meant to you to be this loved and this appreciated at this particular stage of your career? More importantly, to be respected, something that you've earned and worked for.
Well, I think you've nailed it on the head. I'm in a wave now of I'm not 30, I'm not 20, I'm not 40, I'm not 50. We're now moving into that where people look at you and you say, wow, like I'm at this level of I want to be here. And more than that, now I've shifted from my God, I have to have a hit. My God, I have to have, I've shifted into this purpose of my music where I see now, wow, really what service it has, and what service it is for the world. And now I'm in so much more of a heart opening. My heart is so much more open, I think, than ever before when it comes to meeting fans, being on stage, sharing now 35 years of my art, my craft, whatever that is. So when I'm on TV shows, as you've seen, when I'm talking now, there's just such a depth to what I'm sharing now because it's coming from a wiser, more experienced, and a person that has went through a lot of things now at this point and has something more to say. That's basically what you're seeing. Why you're seeing more of me is because I have more to say.
You know, it's interesting. I remember that the numerous conversations that you and I had, and we talked about or discussed when you first started out in your career, how you had to be really guarded and protective of who you are, from as far as having your own personal space and identity. And now, as time has gone by, I see a more open Taylor Dayne. I see a more receptive Taylor Dayne, as far as the adulation, again, that you have worked for, you have earned to have that. What has it been like for you to know that you have been this loved and been this respected for so long, and people and the listeners and the fans are still riding with you? And here we are in 2024.
It's it's an achievement, isn't it? It's an achievement as a human being. We're human beings, living in this experience, this physical world, and we're light, we're spirit, and I have traveled in that spirit, meaning I have done the work, and I was a guarded young woman, young girl, and I had a lot of trauma in my youth, and everybody has their story, and my passion and my need was to be out there and famous, to have music, to have my voice heard and listened to. Talk about that in my book. God knows there's such a different book in me now than there was 5 years ago. But you're seeing the evolution and my purpose has shifted into more of a service. I get it.
It's a, I love it when we talk about growth, not
Yeah,
just as an artist, but as a human being. And
human
you
being.
just see it. When I see you on TV, I see you've always been confident, on the borderline of, you had such this arrogance about your head. When I get on stage, no one can touch me. But now it's a different aura that I'm seeing. It's like I'm having fun. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. And the first time I seen you on the was at the Kelly Clarkson show. I sat here and it blew me away because I was so happy. And I said, you know what? This is long overdue. What was that first experience like to be on such a large platform like Kelly Clarkson?
I'll be shooting. I'm going back on Kelly on February
Yeah.
14th. I think
Yes.
what what you're seeing is again, time and time again, when you've seen artists that go through this growth spurt, and then you're sharing this ride with them again. Whether I again, I feel like, um, you know, I personally am friends with a Paula Abdul, a Belinda Carlisle's, the Debbie. And these are still women that you see that they really have gone through their growth, and they're still willing. And we have a lot of gumption, as you would say. I'm not going to call it
Yes.
arrogance so much anymore, but you got to fight for your right, and you got to earn your stripes. And I would say that I've had the obvious setbacks, and yet the business setbacks, and yet at the same time is like that underdog stuff. It's like just gives me more reason. That's why when you see me with Kelly or you see me with Paula and we're talking, like I'm on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tonight. This yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy stuff. But I love Erica Jane. I love the girls, Kyle and Kylie, and then Paula's hosting. So we did an event together. I performed, and when you start a song like "Tell It to My Heart," and everybody's just all the ladies are getting up, and we're all together in it. It's just it's a wave of acceptance, and more than that, I feel honored. I'm sitting comfortably in this throne now. Does that make sense? I feel
Absolutely, without question.
Yes, that's it. So I'm far more comfortable in this place now. And that's what you're seeing. I'm just far
Yeah.
more at peace.
Ooh, that's a key word, peace. Because it's so hard to get as far as having peace of mind, not allowing any other person or any other entity to disturb your peace or come into your circle of positive energy. And it
Well,
resonates.
that's checks and balances. We all go, that's our work.
The-
Uh, whatever your process is, it's a daily process. It's a daily practice.
Without question. Now, how did the collaboration with Cash come about? Because when we start talking about Taylor Dayne's songs, especially her hit songs, that's like taboo when you start messing with "Tell It to My Heart." So, how did that collaboration come together to redo it in a completely different aspect?
I'll tell you, I reached out to one of the top dance labels in the world that I could think of, and that was Ultra. I spoke to the president, David Waxman. David Waxman says, Taylor, let me get back to you. Let me go through my list from Calvin Harris. Let me go through my guys. Let me look at my
Okay.
roster. See who's going to embrace this, bring it to the next level, and see who can really take this classic, proven. Like you have to look at it. That job, those lines have already been written, and it's already,
Yes.
it's still played. So when he goes, let me go through my roster, and he goes, and let me get back to you because I really want to. So he did, and he came and he said, I think JP and his kid and his crew over here, Cash, he goes, they did some great stuff with Jeremy Resnick. They did they're really going to get the classicness, the iconis, this song. They're also good with vocalists. Like, let me see what they can do. And if you guys really have a great collaboration connection, let's move on with this. And that's exactly what happened. It took a year, but at the same time, those guys just got it. Like they just were so, they grew up on it, obviously, they're 80s kids. And yet at the same time, when you hear what, voice coder in certain areas, the vocoder, I mean, they really they took it to the next level. And that's why we have a number one record with it, they did.
It surprised me because again, when you start messing with the holy grail of certain songs and certain
Sure.
artists, so wait a minute, don't touch it. You can't mess with perfection. But they did
Well, I
such a
haven't
fun.
touched it myself. When you remix something and you redo something, it's not just a remix. They reproduced it. We reimagined it. That's what you're hearing.
Right.
I mean, similar to what Elton's done. But there's a wave of that now, and We loved it. I was very. I mean, it's incredible. It did great. It's amazing record. I love it. I'm very proud of it.
Great record, but I'm gonna tell you something. Thinking out loud.
Oh,
The kind of emotion that you implemented in this song, it was fascinating to me because it seems to me that you were implementing a lot of things that you have gone through from your own personal experience through this song. And I wanted to ask you, what did that song mean to you as far as in the recording aspect when you initially started working on the song?
well, recording in general. When you look at my body of work, and I'm not the most prolific, meaning I don't have 12 records under my belt, but at the same time, if you look at Naked Without You, if you look at the covers specifically now on Satisfied, I specifically take generally male perspective songs, generated songs, and from a male perspective, I love to see, can I turn this, can I flip this, can I integrate with this song, and can I uh, take that lyric content and the direction where this man went, with this vocalist went. I did that with the Chili Peppers. I've done that with Bobby, of course, the great Barry White, and, a few times. And I really have to say, like, if you can own it, when I was really, we studied and said, is thinking out loud right for me? I'm a woman, when my hair gets, it was a more honest and vulnerable, decision, and as well as challenge, and I loved the intimacy of it. And I think the song, I mean, I've always loved, I think he's an incredible songwriter. But I love the perspective of coming from a woman. My legs don't work like they used to before. I mean, it was a vulnerable, more honest place to come in a song for a woman like me, and I felt I could own it.
Well, you did a fantastic job, and
I appreciate
showing that side of your vulnerability. Really, I was thoroughly impressed, because a lot of people don't realize when you're in this industry, you have to really protect who you are and not allow a lot of people to know the real person behind the music. But you have shown such a completely 360 different side of yourself.
No.
It's refreshing.
You know what?
And
Did
I'm
you ever
so
listen?
happy and I'm so
Did
proud
you
of you. But again,
listen to
everything that you
Cry?
worked for, you earned.
I so appreciate that, Teddy. Did you ever listen to "Fool to Cry"?
Huh?
That's a Stones cover I did on Satisfied. "Fool to Cry," and
Yes.
that's another cover.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that was like more for my children because I did it in 2008 and 9. But again, this is a more of an intimate song to myself now. It's a story going on inside my own head. It wasn't for anybody particular. It was really to me when my legs were, and yes, that vulnerability is there's a truth there. There's a truth that we go through. We all do.
Now you've written books. I
A
gotta
book
ask.
feels like
Uh,
books.
I'm saying books because I know another one. I know another one is coming. I know.
I swear to
I
God.
know another.
You're right. That came up in conversation, and I'm like, oh no, not again. But you know what? My story, so it's evolved. My life.
See,
5 years is very, very impactful for me.
that's why, that's why I said books. I know another one is coming, but I gotta ask you. You have done and accomplished so much in your life. Have you ever thought about putting together a biopic? I mean, to me personally,
We're
it's
talking
long
about it.
overdue.
Really, at my age, yeah. But you're right. It's coming.
Oh,
Who do you think should play
anyone
me?
in particular that you could see that special person playing you?
Go
Huh?
ahead. I'm listening. Anybody in your mind?
Oh man,
I love Margot Robbie.
who?
Margot Robbie. I could see her being the young Taylor and just get like. I mean, I love Margot Robbie, the actress. Yeah.
I mean, she's a great actress. I mean, But
Oh, honey, didn't you see her as
she
the ice?
has the yeah. She's a great actress. I'm just saying, but could she really pull it off being you though? That's my. I mean, you have so many different facets and layers about you. So could she pull it off? Do you think she could pull it off?
Oh man, I saw when I first saw her in Wolf of Wall. Oh yeah, when I saw her with Leonardo, yeah, she can pull off Stank and Grit. Oh, yeah, I mean, she might not have been raised in the streets of New York like me or like Lisa and like, some of my people, like what I get. But at the same time, did you see that Tanya Harding? Hello.
Yes, yes,
Girl,
yes.
no, she can do it.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you say she can pull it off, she can pull it off.
But there's that whole
Excuse
80s,
me.
right? I was like working from the Russian clubs, going straight out with, I was wearing top to bottom, getting Gautier to this to that. So there's that whole first element, coming from,
It's a whole different vibe. A
Clark,
whole different
second hand
vibe.
New
And
York to, yeah, that's the club stuff, I was doing from 15,
yeah,
16.
I want to. I want to thank all the fans for tuning in and allowing the teddy bear to help you tune out. Again, we're being joined by the incredible and super talented Miss Taylor Dayne. And also, I want you to be sure to go out, get the new hit single, Thinking Out Loud. It's available on all media outlets, but make sure you stop by Apple to pick it up. And also the re-released new version of Tell It to My Heart. That is also available, and it is burning up on the charts. Make sure you do that. And also upcoming dates, tour dates. Make sure you stop by Taylor's official website. That's at taylordayne.com. Now I got to ask him, this being the ambassador for Fit for the Cure, tell the listeners about that.
Out of the blue, but while I was in my service, as you would call it, just coming out of my own personal journey. I had colon cancer about a year and 2 months ago, diagnosed very suddenly. What saved my life was early detection. And that's just quite frankly, and that's what I talk about now, going in and making sure, you know, there was an age where people are saying you go in at 50, you don't start going in for your colonoscopies. And I'm like, stop it, go in at 40, because certain people, I had polyps. I kept generating polyps, and nothing you feel, nothing you see. There was no signs. There was nothing. So for the last 5 years, I've been going biannually in for colonoscopies, and it was clean every time, other than pulling out polyps and getting them biopsied. And a year and a half, not quite a year and a half ago, but a year ago, one came back within 6 months, so aggressive that he goes, "You got 2 weeks. Let me know what you want to do. Cut the whole colon out, or we do a colectomy. So we'll cut, I don't know, 12 inches of your colon out and hold for Albert. Click." I was like, whoa, wow. So you see, in a 6 month window, that aggressive, and I went through a serious recovery on that. I went through a hard surgery. Everybody's going to tell you their story, and yet I'm on the other side of it. And sharing that was where I was seen on a platform. I'm trying to think whose show I was on, and Wacol reached out to me directly, and they said, "Taylor, you're sharing something so honest. Colon, people don't talk." And I thought it was a more male generated disease. Like, I really wasn't as aware of what colon cancer has now scooped up some really beautiful people that I know very
Yes.
quickly. I mean, Christy Alley, God rest her soul, within 3 months, you just can't imagine that you don't see signs. There's nothing to show you. And
Yeah.
it's all dirty subject. We don't talk about it much. So I really brought it up, and they reached out to me and they said, "Would you be interested?" And I said, "Please talk to me more." And Fit for the Cure is just this wonderful campaign. We're giving, what Wacole's been doing with the Susan B. Komen, Foundation for 25 years, educating women, obviously breast cancer awareness, but more what they're doing is obviously they're funding, giving back, and they're doing free bra fittings. And if I can tell you, and I'm sure everybody who's knows, us women, it's like putting on good panties. Like we have never properly been bra fit. And I got to tell you, it made such a difference. I know you're
Oh
laughing.
my goodness.
Granny panties is one thing, but like, I mean, sure, you can see but a proper bra fitting is life changing. And I know I could be like, Cynthia, why are you wearing that bra 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row? You cannot wear a bra 2 days in a row. Like it takes the stretch, the elasticity, everything. So it was life changing. They are offering free bra, fittings, you know, um, obviously your purchase, that donation goes to the Susan G. B. Komen, Foundation. And this is all for breast cancer awareness. So they were like, Taylor, sign up, please. And now we're on our second, we're in the spring season now. And I will be doing more appearances because I just had a blast, spending hours. I'm going to Dillard's all over the country and sharing with some women, getting that moment to share and encourage women to put your health, wealth, your wellness first. It is put that mask on first. And it's very difficult for a lot of women to take that time and because we get really challenged by the day, and that's raising kids. I
Yeah.
have also kids that's having a working. You could be single, you could be divorced, you could be in any, doesn't really matter. But wellness, health, wealth is your life. That's your wellness, that's your health, that's your wealth. And that's my story. That's the story I'm working with. And yeah, it was a natural pairing. And so that's the short story of it. So it's been a really working on being now the brand ambassador and going around the country and talking about it. And I got to join my daughter. If you saw the first campaign, the shoot, my daughter did.
Yes.
It's really generational, It really is. My mom wears Wacoal. My daughter wears Wacoal. I wear Wacoal.
What is it like now to sit back as a mother and see the growth of your daughter doing a photo shoot like that with you? What did that mean to you?
Yeah, she was 20 when we did it. I think she was, and this is a girl that's been raised in LA, she's her first boyfriend. My daughter's first love was Jack Depp. Like 3 years, I was, this isn't normal circumstances. So she's her challenges have been like any other teen going into too much anxiety, too much social, so more things than she could possibly handle. So I'm still a mother. I'm more than a mother.
Yeah.
I sit back and I watch her because now she's 21 and I've had my frustrations, and I have twins, a boy, so they're like completely polar opposites, but as close as can be. They live together. They won't. I'm like, get the hell out of each other's cradle. You know what I mean? They just won't. They're peripheral on each other. They live in the same apartment, but they're peripheral. They have completely different lives. But my daughter is, I see so much of her in me, and yet I have to understand she's not me at all. She's not. She didn't grow up the same way I did, and yet at the same time, those anxieties, the things that she's gone through, the first love, the challenges. I watch her, and so to see her and share with her something that I obviously went through physically, which my daughter wasn't ready to know that I had cancer. Like she was the last person I told. Mm-mm. She would have folded like a book. Who was in the hospital holding my hand? My son. He could do it. He's a warrior. Like he's like, I got it. Like we'll be here. But I couldn't tell her. And I made him promise, like, don't tell your sister until and then they ended up keeping me in. Like, she can't handle this. So she's far more delicate and her anxieties take over more. And, everybody has a different chemical makeup, which I've learned. And that's what I talk about a lot. The
Yes.
rawness in my book. I talk about anxiety. We see kids suffering so much with mental illness and stuff. And it's like, this is not a road untraveled. I was bulimic, agoraphobic, everything by the time I was 15 and you're 45 years ago. So this is not a new subject. What it is it's a subject that now we talk about. And I talk about it a lot with my daughter, her challenges. Because I
Yeah,
understand
because
them.
I know, yeah, because a lot of the kids that they are going through
Oof.
compared to what you and I went through growing up is night and day now. The amount of peer pressure that's put on these kids today is incredible. And I think that kids are not allowed to be kids anymore. They're being forced to grow up faster than they should have to. And you've always been a very strong person. So I know it's very challenging for you to say, wait a minute, I've been through a lot in this.
They're like, you're a sergeant. I'm like, hell yeah. I go, you think I don't want? Oh, yeah. It got to a point, Teddy, I had cameras all up, and I had like 6 cameras inside the house. And I go, Levi, one more pull and it'll be in the toilet. You will have a camera, an Arlo, because, mom still worked. I was like, I got putting cameras everywhere so I can see what you're doing. Teenagers.
Yeah, I know. I know. I have a 21-year-old son, and I get it. I understand. I understand.
Every parent's laugh, like they're all bursting into tears because, like, guys, at the end of the day, you're dealing with savages. They are literally sociopaths until, I'm like, it doesn't matter. They're your child. I mean, they're doing things like you couldn't even and I'm like, well, yeah, you go back to you. But what were you doing? What were you trying to do? And you're right. Look, it doesn't help that we put $1,000 device in their hand at 9 and 10 years old and think that they could ever afford that and make that up in babysitting and, paper routes. But the times have changed.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because nothing's realistic, and their sense of value is just so been skewed. And that's part of our culture now. And that's on us too.
It is. It really is. I mean, the sense of entitlement is very real. It's very, very real. When like you said, when you had to get out and actually hit the pavement and work and
I only went and got a bike. My big spend was maybe a Coach bag, and I raised the money for that. It was a $75 bag. This is $1,000 phone.
Yeah.
So where I'm going, right? Like $800 phone. Like maybe we should start them on flip phone. I don't know, but this is part of our now culture of fabric. We feel like we can't get in touch with our children unless we text them. Like I don't even like. What did they do? Open the doors and we just went to school?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you get home? My parents never asked me if I took the bus. I don't I'm just saying, like, there was not this generalized fear. And there's this whole like fear everywhere factor. Things, getting into things that are just so overwhelming, which is the internet. Obviously, they're too exposed to too much and things that will get them into trouble. It's absolutely true. No doubt.
It's scary.
Scary. That part's scary.
It is.
It's
really scary.
More than ever. It's really tough to police.
Yeah.
I had 360 on my phone. I don't know what you had on for your son. Like, damn it, Levi. You're not in Sherman Oaks tonight. And he goes, how do you know?
There you go.
Well, he was already breaking my passwords. Like, believe me, it's
Lord,
I had IT in my house. I can't even tell you how many times.
Oh my goodness. Family, again, remember to get the new hit single Thinking Out Loud available as we speak, and to get
we love you.
And to get all the upcoming tour information for Taylor, stop by our official website. That's at taylordayne.com. Before I let you go, my love, I got to ask you, we're in the mid part of 2024. What can we expect as far as I'm hoping and praying? I want an EP from you. I want an EP or an album from you this year. Do you think that's a possibility that might happen?
Well, I put together, listen, Lose You to Love Me is the new single that's coming out. Part of this project I did with Greg Field, the great Greg Field, 9-time Grammy recipient. Like, really, this is the new interpretation. So Lose You to Love Me, a cover from Selena Gomez, Gravity, John Mayer. This is all part of a record. It's just we don't release records, EPs anymore. We release singles. It's like,
that's unfortunate.
Game, babe. It's a different game. But yes, I have a body of work to share with you, Teddy, and I will make sure Joanne sends you, these cuts. But yeah, Gravity, Lose You to Love Me will be is supposed to be dropping in January, and now we're in the very beginnings of 2024. But yes, there's music. There's tons of music. I promise you.
I'm gonna hold you to that, my queen. Well, you know this is your home. Whatever you need, all
Amen.
you have
Amen.
to do is let me know, and we make it happen. I love you to death, and more importantly, I respect you. And it has been an honor to see your journey, and it's just begun, my love. I cannot wait to see what you have in store for everyone for this year.
And ladies, come on out. You'll see me. I'll be like in Texas. I'll be look all over for the Dillards, the in stores that I'm going to be doing, because the Wacol, with Dillards partnering with Wacol is just a joy. And you'll see the spring campaign and come in for your free bra fitting. I tell you, it's life changing. And
you heard it.
So,
Hey, you heard it first. It's, it's a life changing experience, of course, from the one and only Taylor Dayne. Thank you so much, my queen.
Wow, I love you, baby.
Love you, sweetheart.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Lord have mercy. the one and only Taylor Dayne here on Night Traxx, my Lord. Can't think of a better way to start the new year off. Lord have mercy. Be sure, family, once again, to get the new hit single Thinking Out Loud available on Apple and also on Spotify. And if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, you can always head over to Amazon.com and also get that remake of Tell It to My Heart with the production team, pop trio team, Cash. They did a phenomenal job on that. Surprised me, because when you have the Holy Grail and you're talking about Taylor Dayne, you got to make sure you want her music shaken but never stirred. Lord have mercy. And to get all her upcoming tour information, stop by her official website. That's at TaylorDayne.com. And also be on the lookout on February the 14th. Taylor will grace the Kelly Clarkson show. Of course, that's in the NYC. So be sure to check that out. And for those who missed the interview, no need to fear. The Teddy Bear has you. You can stop by our official YouTube channel. You can watch the interview in its entirety. That's at Night Traxx with 2 X's. That's Night Traxx Radio Music Podcast. That's on YouTube. So you can check out the interview. Also, to get all the latest updates, let your fingers do the walk, and be sure you follow us on Facebook, same handle at Night Traxx Radio with 2 X's. Also on TikTok, also on Instagram. And we'll be back on tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we welcome singer-songwriter Ona Kay as we get lost in her new album, Full New Luna. Yes, Lord. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and allowing me to sharing us together with our beautiful Night Traxx experience. We have a lot to give you this year. Last year was great. This year will be phenomenal. And as in always, I want everyone to keep it soulful here on Night Traxx Radio. God bless. Lord have mercy.